A global report has ranked South Africa among the top 10 countries for organised crime. The report by the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime has said the drugs trade is of particular concern and extortion is on the rise. According to its Global Organised Crime Index, South Africa now ranking 7th out of 193 countries. To discuss, we're joined by Analyst at the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime, Rumbi Matamba. She is also the author of The Business of Killing: Assassinations in South Africa. Ms. Matamba, thank you for being with us. We often look at the murder rate. I mean, we looked at crime stats not too long ago, and some categories of crime have come down, but 77 people are murdered every day. You're focusing on organised crime. Just explain more the categories that you're looking at here.
Thank you, Francis. So we look at a total of 15 criminal markets, as well as 5 criminal actor types. Of the 15 criminal markets, South Africa ranks pretty highly. And when I say highly, I mean it scores above 5 out of 10 for 12 out of those 15 markets. And in terms of criminal actors, all the 5 criminal actors that we look at have pretty high influence within the country.
All right, and you're talking about cocaine and heroin, so the drugs trade has been highlighted, and drugs, of course, can exacerbate our own social ills here in South Africa. What are you finding? Is it for the local market or for export?
So with the heroin trade in particular, South Africa is both a transshipment point and a destination point. And this is in conjunction as well with countries such as Mozambique, for example. And then in terms of synthetic drugs, we've seen that there has been an increase in meth users in South Africa. And what our research has shown is that users prefer meth because it leads to a much longer high, as opposed to other drugs such as cocaine, for example. And so it is much cheaper to maintain a longer high.
In fact, the report says South Africa is now a critical node looking at the heroin smuggling for smuggling rings to Europe, Africa and Australia. So South Africa becoming crucial, which would mean that the gangs, the drug syndicates feel that they can operate pretty freely here.
Absolutely. So there are many reasons for the increase in the heroin trade, including shifts within the global heroin trade as well. So increases that we've seen in Afghan-produced heroin coming into the continent through the East and Southern African route. And this has sometimes been dubbed the heroin coast on the continent.
Sure. Extortion and protection racketeering also increasing. Tell us more about the findings and who are the targets.
So what we've seen with extortion and protection racketeering, which is a very new indicator within the Organised Crime Index, is that South Africa ranks pretty highly. So within the region, it drives the Southern African score for extortion and protection racketeering. And here we're looking at groups such as the construction mafia, which you, Francis, have reported on before, as well as looking at intimidation within the nightclub industry, for example, in parts of the Western Cape. And that includes some of the extortion, protection, racketeering scores that we have seen within the country, but also including extortion of, I think they call fathers within the country as well, extortion of foreign nationals. And so that contributes to the high extortion and protection racketeering score in the country.
Are there any recommendations, or are you just looking at the stats? I mean, let's end with this. If all these things are not dealt with firmly, it will get worse and worse, right? We could be ranked up there with Colombia, known for all the things that we're talking about.
Absolutely. But the report not only looks at criminality, it also looks at resilience. And what's unique about South Africa is it ranks highly for criminality, but it also ranks quite highly for resilience as well. So it is in a bit of a unique position. So what needs to be done is increased implementation of laws, because we see that South Africa has quite a lot of laws addressing organized crime, transnational organized crime in particular. we also see South Africa has cooperated internationally and as well as regionally in trying to combat organized crime, but that needs to be enhanced more within the country. And so we look at resilience as well, looking at things such as the role of non-state actors, the role of increasing transparency within the country. And those are some of the ways that we can start to address organized crime in the country. So South Africa has both high criminality, but it also has high resilience rate, which is a good indication.
All right, so at least some good news, meaning this wave can be pushed back. We'll continue to follow your reports. Thank you very much. Rumbi Matamba from the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime.